I just did some shopping and I came back with some ground beef. I've got some fresh mushrooms, some fresh Italian parsley. I've got some green onions, a chunk of garlic over there. I've got some Worcestershire or Worcestershire, whatever you want to say, sauce. And I've got some stuff to make a gravy. What am I going to do today? I am going to make Salisbury steak bowls. They ought to be great. All right, so I have begun. I have taken all my little flavor boosters that I chopped up and I put them in the bowl. Not all of them though, because some of them are gonna go into the gravy that I'm gonna do later. And the only one I didn't put in, and that's for the gravy, is the mushrooms. They'll go in later on. Now I'm gonna hit this up with some seasoning, a little salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of oregano, a little bit of onion powder, mix this all up, and then I'm gonna shape the Salisbury steaks, little mini ones. Okay, I've got my cast iron heating up and I made 10 little baby Salisbury steaks. Aren't they adorable? I'm gonna fry these babies up and then we're gonna take it to the next step. They're adorable. I love them. I'm gonna go on to making the gravy next, and then we're gonna build our bowls. I've got the meat drippings from the Salisbury steaks in this pan. I'm firing it back up again. I'm gonna add some onion to the pan. I've got some green onion in there. We'll put in some garlic too. I'm gonna put in this beef stock. That's gonna deglaze all of those flavors from the pan and release them into the mix. And I have made a little bit of a cornstarch slurry, a little bit of cornstarch with water, and I'm throwing that in. That's gonna start thickening up the gravy. The seasoning that everybody pronounces differently, but it always tastes the same. So in it goes. And whenever I make soups and gravies, I always throw a little bit of butter in there. It just seems to make it silky and smooth. Now for an extra creamy gravy, a little bit of half and half. And an extra flavor bomb, a little bit of beef bouillon. And now it's time to add the little baby Salisbury steaks to the gravy. They're gonna flavor this up even more than it is already. Cover everybody. Everybody get a blanket of goodness. And I have now added my mushrooms. I add them last, so they still have a little bit of texture to them. That's all. But you can add your mushrooms into your gravy whenever you'd like.
Well, I made some mashed potatoes and some green beans with little baby tomatoes, and I drizzled them with olive oil and some seasoning. They're gonna accompany the meal.
I've got my mashed potatoes in both of these bowls. I'm putting a little bit of the gravy and mushrooms down in the bottom here over the mashed potatoes. And I'm gonna plop in some of the Salisbury steaks. Do the same over here. On top, make it look real pretty and colorful. Now doesn't that look good? I'm really pleased with how these Salisbury steak bowls turned out. And they looked pretty too. And I want to thank you for joining me and keeping me company while I did this. Go get yourself something great to eat and have a wonderful evening. Thanks, guys. Time to eat.